Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your man Hanley from On the Line with. We're about to get into episode 63 of Card Chats with Swish Styles. He's gonna join in a minute and chop it up, talk about his new album, things like that. There he is. What's going on, bro?
Chilling, man. How you been?
How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. A little hungover from the weekend, but
It only means it was a good weekend.
it was a good weekend. It was definitely a good weekend.
So, I was letting everybody know we're on 63, episode 63, sorry, of Card Chats. Again, I'm not in my car. But it's still the same meaning. So, introduce yourself, man. Let everybody know who you are. No one in here just yet, but
My name is the anti-hero Swish Styles, pop hip hop artist from the Niagara region. Currently living in Toronto, trying to expand and take over the world.
so wait, sorry, where are you originally from?
Niagara.
You're from, oh, okay, now,
Niagara is my hood. Like I grew up in Niagara. I'm still in Niagara all the time. I'm in Niagara right now in St. Catharines.
okay. And so is it just Swish Styles or is it Anti-Hero Swish Styles?
It's just Swish Styles. The anti-hero is just kind of part of the brand at this point.
Yeah. And why the Anti-Hero? Are you just a fan of anti-heroes like I am?
And so I believe that people might consider my point misogynistic, but it's not meant to be in any single way. I just feel like a lot of men nowadays are the anti-hero. Whether you're a father, a husband, a son, a brother, I feel like no matter how much good we do, a lot of the times it's taken into the wrong perspective. It's used.
We had this, we
Sorry?
had this conversation,
We
I think.
had this conversation. So I feel
Yeah,
like,
I agree with you. No, it doesn't sound misogynistic, man. If people look at the way the climate is nowadays, I mean, it speaks for itself. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of sick fucking males out there, but I mean, not every one of us are that fucking.
yeah. So the anti-hero brand is like, I choose to be the anti-hero and hope that I give other men perspective and motivation I can't think of the word, just influence them to do better or fight through it, fight for the right reasons. I mean, you look at all these fathers that don't get to see their kids, and it's not that they're bad fathers, it's that the system's failing in the courts. You know what I mean?
No,
We got this new TikTok thing going on now where women are in the gym, and you're seeing videos where guys aren't even looking at them and they're turning around and going, oh my God, look at this creep. Like, we are the anti-hero. We are the reason of blame. So like that I choose to be the brand that helps bring recognition to that hate me or love me, and hope that it helps other men with their struggles and persevere.
yeah, I like this. I like that a lot of the artists that I've been interviewing the past few weeks, like on the series, all their brands have a lot of like really creative meaning behind it and like thought-provoking reasons behind it, and I'm like, people are finally starting to understand what branding is.
Slowly
Yeah.
getting there. It only took me like 5 years. Yeah.
No, like that's not to like speak at you. I'm just like in general, like back in the day, like when I was making my own music and shit, like everyone was just focused on putting out the music. No one really gave a shit about the like branding.
I
But
I feel you.
odd,
That's why I said it.
odd,
I was the same way.
like, oh, I gotta make sure I brand myself right, and everybody's like, why? But no, it's good. I like it. I like that you have reasoning behind your brand. At least that it's not just something that you threw on paper to make a couple dollars.
Yeah. Yeah, no. See, like everywhere I go when I'm in Niagara too, I'm rocking the anti-hero swag.
I need one of those.
Yo, let me know, man. I'll hook you up when we come out there in June.
Now, you guys in Ottawa in June?
We're in Ottawa, June 30th at Mavericks.
That's for the Mad Child show, or?
It's not for Mad Child. It's for. I have to pull up and look at the flyer. It's for an artist. I think it's a local artist. through Seb Soroka. I've had him on Facebook for a while. I've only heard good things. This is my first time working with them, so. But I'm pumped. I got people out in Ottawa, so I started messaging people right away. I know they're waiting for tickets.
Yeah, let me know, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, I come through, do some media or something.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Who's the artist from Ottawa?
I don't know. I gotta.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. I'm curious now.
It's Trippy 6.
Okay, I'm not familiar with him. I'll have to check into him. I haven't. Trippy 6. I don't know. No, I mean, I don't think I've heard of him. Not to say it's a bad thing. It's just I'm not always listening. I'm always listening everywhere instead of right in front of me. So
That's okay, man. Half the time I'm not listening to rap. I'm listening to metal.
yeah, you know, I have a lot of friends that like make hip hop, and then they're not even really fans of the hip hop that come out right now. And I'm like, I mean,
That's
come from a different time too, so like I still understand their reasoning behind it, but it doesn't help that like every time you guys start hating on the new music, you just keep making yourself look older and miserable.
yeah, 100%, man. I love new music. It's something new to try as an artist. Something for me to explore and experience.
That's what's important. And you have is your anti-hero? You said there's an album coming out with that title, right?
So I've been working on a project for a minute. So we've been dropping singles. I've actually got my next single coming up on the 27th of April. It's called Do You. And then we have two more singles, one coming in May. That's Patrick Bateman, for anybody who's a fan of American Psycho like me. And then the last one, I'm going to keep Hush, because this last song as the album drops, so this will be the first part of the album with 10 tracks. And the last single to promote the album is actually, it was a very experimental track that came out way better than I ever would have expected. And it's a mix of alternative rap rock with like I would say probably soca.
Okay, that's cool.
It's a very trippy vibe, and it ended up working very well. So that's going to be Anti-Hero, and then as soon as we finish that, I've already got the next singles to come out, because you never start your story with the not the prelude. You never give your origin story off first. You got to tell them. You got to sell the hero. So the first album sells the hero, and then I already have the origin story. So there's going to be Anti-Hero Origins, and then we're currently working on the second Anti-Hero album to come after that. And I've got some big features that I'm going to keep hush right now. All I will say is that in the coming months, I'm actually going to be flying down to Atlanta to work with a fairly big artist that's been on some pretty huge media and worked with some really big players in the game.
Well, out in Atlanta, because I have a few people out there that you might want to work with as well.
No doubt, man.
A lot of, well, I'm like my interviews. A lot of them took place in Atlanta. Well, not took place, but the people from Atlanta were in my interviews a lot of the time. So I definitely have a pretty strong connection with people there. So when are you planning on heading to Atlanta?
I don't have any set date, but I'd imagine it'll probably be May or June.
Interesting. And so, how long have you been making music for?
I've been making music for probably like a decade, a little over a decade. I've been serious about my craft, really trying to do this for about 5 years. But like, so we did a really good run in 2020, and COVID was so fucked that I just decided, okay, I'm gonna step back and like really work on this album that we ended up creating with Anti-Hero. And I didn't do anything for 2021, and then 2022 kind of became a mess with some business stuff and an acquisition I was working on. So sorry, my stress has done this. I've been through some experiences. So my I know the word. I just have a hard time thinking of it from time to time.
No, it's not. Trust me, I understand where you're going with it half the time. Anyway, I'm the same way, man. I'll lose train of thought like immediately, and I'll be like, "How the fuck?"
Yeah. Yeah, so I kind of missed 21, 22, so I'm just getting right back into it now. I'm getting ready to drop a whole slew of music and just like grind.
Definitely. And so that what? So the end, you're dropping singles. So the next one's on the 26th. So you're just dropping a single from the album, like
Every month.
just until the whole album's out.
Yeah, and then in the same month that the whole album comes out in June, I'll have multiple singles coming then that will start leading into the second album, the Origins.
Okay, yeah. So you're definitely dropping like just track after track then.
Oh yeah,
Good.
I've got probably like 30 ready to go. I'm just trying to market and be smart about it.
Sounds good. Good. Well, I'm glad that you chose wanted to come on. Well, this series, this part anyway. We'll still talk about the other podcast to get a slot open there. I'm just working on a lot of episodes there. But in regards to this one, I'm glad that you reached out because I did check your music out. It is dope.
Thank you. Hey, Joka, what's good, man? I see somebody who joined. I've actually done shows with. I got to work with him with I believe Dirtbag Dan and Kung Fu Vampire, if I'm correct. Please don't get mad at me if I'm wrong, brother. Um, anyways, yeah. So I wanted to get on here because like mental health is a very big part of what I've been trying to preach, and my latest single, So Far Gone, speaks a lot about mental health and homelessness, drug addiction, which kind of all go hand in hand very well. So this was an opportunity. I saw, like, I see what you're doing. I figured, hey, let's see if we can work together, see if we can do something.
I'm down to work with anybody, man. If anybody knows me, you know that I give everybody a chance until they cross me in some way, and then I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. I mean, like, you burn the bridge, you know, like I don't have to cross it. But I mean, as far as the mental health part goes, like, do you have a lot of background? I'm assuming in some of the things that you're speaking about.
So let me tell you a story, man, and I don't mind.
Don't go too in depth on this one. We'll go in depth on the other actual podcast because
Okay.
that's where.
So I'll keep it simple then. While losing multiple family members, while preparing to have a child, I got into drug addiction to try and cope with all the emotions, and it kind of just. I went through everything but the homelessness. I've been through the suicidal tendencies. I've been through the drug addiction. I've experienced it all because of depression and just life happening.
Yep. No, I relate to you on that part, man. Absolutely. Except the kid part. I am childless.
Well, enjoy it. I love being a father. Don't get me wrong.
Tough gig, bro.
It is not easy.
So, with how's the response to your music? Because you said you've been making music for about a decade, but you stopped for a while. So, how was the response when you came back to it?
The response has been pretty good. We just did a show out in the falls here a couple weeks ago. Me and Pluto actually did it, and me and him damn near sold out the venue. So like, the response is good. A lot of people are just kind of picking back up now, trying to work with me because they wanted to, and then I kind of had to take a step back for other aspects of life. I'm not complaining. The numbers aren't hitting the same yet, but I just got to keep reaching, getting back to people. If anybody on here is watching, please add me to your playlists if you like my music.
And if you're not following Swish Styles, follow him. If you're not following me, follow me. You know, intermission, blibber blabber. Vincent, what's going on, bro? I haven't forgot about you. I know we're supposed to do an interview too. Don't worry. But yeah, yo, you should hit up Vincent Price if you want beats.
Beats. I appreciate that. I'll definitely check Vincent out. I actually work with a guy. We've been working pretty solid for more than a decade. I met him through somebody else, and he's worked with a lot of big industries. His biggest track was actually with Mel XD and Movado.
Okay.
So he's got experience with like him, Pressa, Tory Lanez, a lot of people. I'm always looking for producers, but most of the time, like my recording, mixing, mastering, and everything is with him.
Yeah. Just a relationship that's been made over years, so you stick to what you know.
Exactly it.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. But so Anti-Hero comes out in June. When are you planning for the other one to drop?
Sorry about that. I was just talking to my dad. Sorry, what was your question?
Your Anti-Hero album comes out in June, so when do you plan on the follow-up to come out? Because you seem like you have it planned out in some sort of
So
order.
as soon as the Anti-Hero album comes out, I'm going to start releasing singles for the next one, and then it's probably going to be like an album every 6 months.
Okay.
That's kind of what I don't write a lot of music with like quick aspects, and a lot of my music isn't the same. Like I'm sure you notice going through my music, one song doesn't really sound like the next.
Yeah.
Um, it, it
Versatility for
it's
sure.
it's a gift and a curse. It's a gift in the aspect that like you always know when I'm dropping a track, it's going to be something different and something new. But it's a curse because from a marketing and algorithm perspective, with things like Spotify, I certainly don't build the same way a lot of other artists do or as quick, because there's a lot of people that love one track, but then they're not really feeling the next.
Right. Okay, that's fair. I mean, but that's the thing, right? You're not trying to sound the same on every track, so you're gonna attract different demographics and different types of fan bases. So like one fan base isn't gonna like the other fan base's choice, and vice versa, and so on and so forth. So
Exactly. Just analytics alone tell me I'm getting views from everybody from like 16 years old to people in their 50s. So like it's I'm never going to please anybody, but it seems that I've got a wide demographic based on my ability to diversify my music.
you could find like something that they all have some sort of similar common ground on. That might be your point to aim for. It's just hard to find that, and the demographic so wide.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got Gen Z to fucking boomers, bro. So, what what do you think? What do you think? Like, well, I don't know. What would you say like your top track's been since you've come back out?
Since I've come back out, I mean, I'd have to be like there's three. It's different. Like Villains did the best stream wise. We hit over 15,000 streams on that one. What's good, T Styles? Um, RIP has kind of done good with the local and like the vibe, and that's really hit it off with more of like the rock heads and people, because we went in a real like grungy direction with that. But So Far Gone, like we got written up in the paper for that. It did a lot for the community. I've had people messaging me because that one was a lot more relatable, because it was more towards addiction and mental health. So a lot more people can they have their own story to tell, their own ability to relate to that one specifically. So each one is kind of popped off in its own different way. I think Weifu was the only one that didn't really, like, it did well, but it was a banger. It was a vibe. So everybody just kind of likes it. Sex sells.
True. That the thing I was just gonna say that I've noticed with like people who put like mental health and like the like social causes at the forefront of their music is like they're the ones who usually have that big demographic, because like the range in demographic from like you said 16 to 50, let's say, just for the example, like it's because like that 16-year-old is probably dealing with something mental health wise, and the 50-year-old is also probably dealing with something mental health wise. And I feel like it's just that's one thing that can connect that whole uh, demographic to be like one solid fan base. But it's not always easy. Like it's like unless you're being extremely vulnerable on songs and things like that. And, like it's hard to sell mental health like that, because no one wants to really glorify it.
Mhm.
And it's hard. You're teetering on that line of like glorifying it and like raising awareness. Not you, not personally, just people in general who try to. You know what I mean? There are always going to be those people who reach out and try and say you're using this situation or like the mental health act to like help sell your music, and I find that just like ignorant as hell if you don't know a person. So like I get that just for doing fucking interviews about it. So I can only imagine like if I was still recording music, and that would probably be what I was recording music about if I was still doing it. But it like I'm sure I'd be getting those messages. Do you get messages like that?
Once in a while, I usually ignore them or shut them down. People are always going to have your opinion, and we live in a time in society where you can't be loved by everybody. There's somebody's always going to have an opinion against you. So it comes with part of being an artist, right? That's the point of art, is to bring the emotion out or to trigger something in a person.
Yeah, no, right there. So for visuals, do you have videos and stuff out? I only check the stuff on Apple and things. I didn't check for music videos or anything.
I appreciate you checking me out on Apple. I have videos on YouTube. We haven't shot any videos for this year, but I got some pretty crazy videos from 2020. That's kind of been the hard thing, is like I haven't had a lot of time to shoot those kind of videos because I'm a shoot an all day kind of video person. Everything's got to be 4K. Everything's got to be quality. It's got to be perfect. I tend to write scripting and that a lot to my videos. So yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to shoot videos, which I really, really would like to for some of these new songs, just to kind of give a different perspective from what you're hearing in the song and taking in. So hopefully there will be soon, but at the moment, everything can be found on YouTube at Swish Styles. Caption or search point is Antihero Swish on all social media.
Yep.
Swish Styles on your streaming platform.
Yeah, it's just Swish Styles on streaming platforms, right? Yeah, okay. I was like, I keep forgetting. Like, I have Spotify and Apple. I'm like, where did I check it? And I forget if it was like Antihero Swish Styles, and I was like, fuck. But yeah, no, definitely. So you're planning on making music videos then?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So, what track do you think you'd want to make a video for first out of the stuff you have out right now?
I mean, the thing is like there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of different video ideas I've had for these singles. The biggest one probably are the next two singles. Not this one coming up to you, but Patrick Bateman, because I wanted to really have fun trying to recreate the mental health aspect of American Psycho. The one after that, Curtains, that I was talking to you about with the album, I really, really want to shoot a video for that. And actually, the aspect about that one, the whole video concept I wanted to shoot with was to bring awareness to sex trafficking, because that's a whole nother issue, and actually Niagara has become a really big forefront of it because of like the border and everything like that.
You guys are right on the border with New York, so
yeah. But other than that, like for the tracks that are already out, I mean, I'd love to go to one of the strip clubs out here and shoot a video for Waifu. We've already got ideas for RIP. Villains in the summer, man. I'd love to get out and just get everybody up at the campground, you know, get on a boat, get on some jet skis, and just have a blast shooting something like that. Yeah, I've got some ideas. It's hard to answer, like, how do you pick one for me? That's always been my problem in every aspect of life, is how do you just pick one?
Yeah, I know. It's hard to make like the video cuts and choose which ones that you think are going to most represent the album that need a visual.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, some people do a video for their whole, like every track on their EP if it's a 3 or 4 pack EP. But I mean, it's a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
You know, like you really got to have the mindset to want to be doing like that precisely video for every track. I wouldn't be able to do it. But as for, so you have shows coming up as well before the one in Ottawa, or you have?
I do. So I'm actually going to be popping out to the Mad Child show in Hamilton this Friday. Then June, I've got one here in Niagara Falls, and we've also got one in Ottawa out your way. August, right now, there's one in Thorold out this way for a pub crawl. I'm going to be performing with a bunch of really dope local bands. And then there's talks about one on Labor Day too, because out here in Meriton, where I grew up, I have a track called Meriton that's going to be dropping later this summer around the same time. Labor Day is a really big thing for us. We have this thing called Meriton Christmas, which is the Labor Day for everybody out here. So that's definitely going to be a thing too. I don't know. The shows keep kind of adding, promoters keep kind of reaching. It's just a matter of making sure I'm picking the right ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So wait, is the one in Hamilton that's going on, that's coming up with Mad Child, is Pluto on that one too, right?
Yeah, so Pluto's actually heading that one. It's just we're all kind of a squad, so I'm going to be coming out. Me and him are going to be performing RIP.
Okay, that's good to know, because then I know you were in the interview the other day when I was talking to him. We're gonna probably document it, so you could just jump in those interviews too, and we could just make it a whole thing.
Oh, definitely, man. I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to. Yeah, because he'll likely be.
Go ahead.
I was going to say he'll most likely be rolling out with me to the Ottawa show.
Perfect. That's even better. That's great. Then we could have a whole fucking sit-down conversation.
Yeah, man.
All right. Definitely. All right. So yeah, let's catch up at the Hamilton show then with you and Pluto, and let's well, give everybody some links and things to go check out now if you want. Do some shameless self-promotion. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So you can find me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Search at Antihero Swish. For everything else, it's Swish Styles. YouTube, Swish Styles. Stream me, please. Go follow me. Check me out. Find something you like. Share my music and just help me keep building.
And anybody, like I said, watching this, not following Swish Styles, give him a follow. Anybody not following me, give me a follow. If you're an artist, hit me up. We'll schedule an interview if you'd like. Yeah, I'll definitely catch you at the Mad Child shows via interviews with Pluto and things like that. And yeah, we'll document all that, and we'll figure out some way to put it together in some grand fucking spectacle.
All right, man.
All right, bro. And I'll get back to you about a slot for the actual podcast in like a week or so. I'm just finishing up some edits and things like that. I have to hit up Pluto too, so maybe we could have you both on as like just a double. That way it could come to fruition faster.
That would be dope, man. I'd be down.
All right, sounds good, bro. All right, so everybody, like I said, it's your man Hanley from On the Line with episode 63 on the road to 100 episodes. Swish Styles, thanks for coming on, bro. I appreciate you coming on and chopping it up with me for a little bit, and we'll catch up with you at the Hamilton show in a week, 2 weeks?
In a week.
In a week. Yeah. All right, bro.
Appreciate you very much, Jordan. Easy.
Peace.